All right, we are live.
You want to
Go
start?
for it, Mike.
Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike Senior here for the Pro Premium Weekly Review. We have our six-time defending champion, Bobby, in the house. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you, sir?
Very good. How's it feel, man? Real quick, we'll touch base on this. How's it feel to be, have all those wins, repeated championship, ready to do it again?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hopefully, got some big news coming up soon. You guys don't want to miss it. But I'm looking forward to trying to go for that seventh. I think I got a good shot at it. We've brought in some new people, brought them up into the Cup Series, so it's going to be exciting to see what transpires with that.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how when the new season starts and everything else. I'm looking forward to it. I got some, I've been doing some practicing, so. But I believe we have someone actually in the waiting room, Derek Peebles. He's DPM Motorsports, correct?
Yes, sir. We have Derek in the building, and I'm bringing him in right now. What's happening, Derek?
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm here, man.
Awesome.
As you guys can tell, we're representing DPM.
I love it.
So, Derek, tell us about yourself. We'll let you start. That way, I can start sending out invites. I'll actually send you one too, so that way you can start sending them out to everybody that's on your page.
All right, perfect. Well, I'm 28 years old. I was originally born in upstate New York, kind of Amish country, pretty close to Canada. My family moved to North Carolina when I was 9 years old. I've always had a passion for NASCAR and just auto racing in general. Graduated high school in 2010 and kind of didn't really know the path that I was going to go down. And had a friend of mine that had a late model stock in his garage. And he said, "Hey, man, looking for some help on this deal. And I'd like for you to come over and kind of tinker with it." And I was like, I don't really know anything about it. But that's all it took. I walked in the shop and I was hooked. And almost 10 years later, starting to do more of our own stuff and my own stuff, trying to do more of the developmental side and not just the turning wrenches side. So it's definitely a good opportunity for myself and my family and definitely the core group of people that I have around me. It helps to have those people that will kind of stick their neck out for you. Yeah, got the sticker on the cup. I dig it. But yeah, it's crazy that if you really have a dream or a goal that you have to work hard enough and you can pretty much make anything happen. Trying to start off 2021 better than 2020 ended. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Trust me, all of us are. So a lot of our viewers have asked, and I'll ask you this right now. Where do you see yourself in 2 to 5 years?
Definitely at least having 2+ cars, adding a couple more cars and some better, newer equipment. Some of the stuff we have is a little bit older, but there's nothing wrong with that stuff. We kind of take a different approach to stuff here. So definitely a couple more cars and at least another handful of hungry and young drivers that are ready to really learn and improve and try to make their way up the NASCAR ladder. Because essentially that's why everybody starts in late models.
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, no. Well, obviously, with the late model, aspect of it, I mean, being with the development, as you are, do you find it kind of really tough sometimes for the younger guys that are coming in and that you are teaching and learning? Do you find, having to have a lot of patience with them because, of course, they are got to be a little bit more trigger happy than the average, person?
Yes, for sure. And a lot of these kids are, 13, 14 years old, and they don't even have their learner's permit to drive on the highway. So you kind of have to take a different approach of being really patient and really calm and kind of trying to explain everything to them without giving them too much information at one time. That's probably the hardest thing about working with the younger kids. And then you get more towards the the teenagers, like 18, 19 years old, and some of them kind of already think they know what's going on, and some of those drivers pick up bad habits. So it's a totally different world from going from 13 to 14 to 18 and 19. So it's definitely, communication's different. Just pretty much everything across the board, really.
Now, with that there, with the younger group, right? Do you still have to run? Are you still running the? Well, I know. Okay, well, yeah. So the viewers know. I mean, a lot of late models divisions run a 602 sealed and a 603 sealed. They still run the same motors, don't they? The 13,
Yes.
14, they do. So they're already learning on the big motors.
Yeah. So pretty much, the younger kids will start out in the limited late model series, which is typically a 603 or 604 sealed crate engine. But they have smaller carburetors, so they take some horsepower away from them. But It gives them the ability to learn throttle control and what to do and what not to do, and braking and all of that stuff. And then once they decide, or we decide, that they're ready to go to the late model stock, which is a sealed 604 or a built Chevrolet or Ford, they typically run a 650 carburetor. So it's definitely a big jump.
Right. Yeah. So it's just basically what it is that all it is just your airflow through your carburetors. It's basically almost the same thing as a restrictor plate in a matter of aspect. It just doesn't, it's not a restrictor plate.
Yep. Essentially, it's the same thing. Just they do it with carburetor instead of the plates.
Right. PPMs, right. Bobby?
So, can you tell us about how you started your pursuit? Well, how did you start from at the beginning to going through NASCAR to get where you're at now?
All right. I graduated high school in 2010 on a Thursday. I started working in an auto repair shop on a Tuesday. I had a couple opportunities to play college football. I got hurt throughout my senior year, and I decided not to go the college path because I was going to have to miss a lot of training, and pretty much everything set out my freshman year. So I decided just to start working. And a really good friend of mine, we were shooting pool one night, and he said, "Hey man, I've got this late model in the shop, and we'll definitely need some help. Come over and check it out. Let me know what you think." And I was already loved NASCAR and racing in general. Huge Terry Labonte and Bobby Labonte fan growing up, along with Dale Earnhardt. He's probably the reason why I got into really being serious about this whole deal. Excuse me. So I worked with those guys for a couple of years, and the money kind of fizzled out, and we kind of just went our separate ways. Took about a year and a half off, and the guy that I'm currently teamed up with, Wayne, I started helping him kind of just in the shop side. Just kind of helping him put cars together and hang some body panels and stuff like that. And our home racetrack, Southern National Speedway, is about 15 minutes away. So we started going over there a lot, and we were running pretty decent, but I was young, I was fresh, I didn't really know anything. I could halfway do tires and put rounds in the spring type of deal. So we kind of struggled a lot, but I got an opportunity to work for Mike Darn Racing and Mike Darn in Concord. So when I got the call, which I called them 3 or 4 times and asked them, I was like, "Hey man, like I really would love the opportunity to work for you." So he finally said, "Okay, come on." So I moved everything that I had pretty much from Clayton, North Carolina, and moved to Concord. I worked with him full time for right at 2.5 years. Pretty much when I got there, I was sweeping the floor, putting tools away, but shadowing everybody at the same time, just kind of watching what they're doing. And, they would explain, "Okay, this is why we're doing this, and this is the steps you have to go through," and stuff like that.
So soaking it up like a sponge.
Yes, trying to. I made my fair share of mistakes, for sure. The first test I ever did working for him, we were testing at Hickory. And Hickory's really rough. Pit road has big giant holes in it and cracks in it. And I was jacking up the car on the right side, and I stuck the jack stand underneath the side skirt, and I pumped on the jack, and the car fell off the jack and landed on the side skirt.
Oh.
And it was a brand new body. I tore up the rocker panel, the crush panel, the side skirt, the door. I broke the fender. Like it was really bad. And that was the first time I'd went to the racetrack with them, with any of those guys. And it was awful. It was definitely eye opening. So yeah, I worked for Mike for a couple of years. We did late model stock stuff. We did pro late models, super late models. Did the whole Martinsville late model stock deal, which is awesome. Ran the first race under the lights there. Had a really good relationship with him and still do. He's definitely a mentor. When I was there, he brought on a guy named Danny Johnson, and we hit it off like we've been brothers our whole life. Talk the same, act the same, goof off, still get work done, but we had a really good time with everything. And excuse me, that relationship turned into, hey, I've been around the big time NASCAR world, and there might be an opportunity for me to go back. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, I'm happy for you. I had moved home and moved back to Clayton and got married to my fiance and kind of took a step back. I started doing my own late model stuff, just some side work, setting up race cars and hanging some bodies and doing some tires at the racetrack. And he called me one day. He said, hey, I just took this crew chief job over at Martin's Motorsports with Tommy Joe Martins. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like, I'm so happy for you. And he said, I want you to come over here and work for me. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, I thought he was kidding. Well, he wasn't kidding. Went to Daytona last year. That was amazing. Like a childhood dream. I mean, that's everything to anybody that does anything in NASCAR or auto racing, period. Late model stock world. Like, that was huge. Got to experience all of that. That was just a part-time basis. So then I was still doing my late model stuff. Excuse me. And he called me in, I think, the end of April. They flew me out to California. Came back home. Pretty much all those guys were like, look, you work really hard. We had some tough luck. You got us out of a bind. Like, if we didn't have the extra body and didn't have your work ethic, we probably would have been in a whole lot worse shape than we were. So they offered me a full-time job. I was listed as the car chief, and I was not a car chief by any means. I was not ready for that. It's a big responsibility. Those cars are a lot different than a late model stock. Everything is precise. You're down to the 32nd with everything. It was an eye-opening experience. I worked for those guys for about 2 months, decided to come back home. And even now, like, I still keep in touch with all of them. They call and check up and see how everything's going. And, me and Danny are still really good friends. And he's definitely probably one of my biggest mentors. I can call him right now and ask him, hey, I'm thinking about running the spring package. And he'll either say, well, that sounds like a good idea, or that sounds stupid. So this is the direction you need to go, type deal. So I've definitely met a lot of good people and made a lot of good friendships and relationships along the way in my short, pretty much 10 years.
So what's your favorite track that you were at, and what's your worst track?
I think both tracks are the same answer. We went to Charlotte in May. Tommy Joe had the career run of his life. Come down to 6 or 7 laps to go. Right in our backyard, 25 minutes from the shop. Running really good. Come down towards the end of the race, put a set of scuffed tires on. We had a flat earlier in the day. Nobody else had tires left. Put those tires on. I think we restarted 22nd or 20th. And within 12 or 15 laps, we were passing for 7th. When we came out of turn 2, Noah Gregson had lost his car and was sliding in front of the whole field, and we got tore up pretty bad.
Oh.
Pretty much total loss of the car. So I love Charlotte. I love everything about it. It's close to home. The people there are awesome. But that experience of being on the highest of highs, and then within the matter of 12 to 15 laps, you're at the lowest of the lows.
I know how that is. I've been there.
Yeah. It's definitely, it was definitely everybody. Everybody had that feeling, you know what I mean? That would have been huge for a small team like I was a part of with those guys. 4 guys in the shop, including the crew chief, had 4 mechanics on the road, plus our hired pit crew. So we worked in the shop all day together. We worked on the road all day together. So we were a really close, tight knit bunch. And it was just that feeling. You'll never forget that feeling in your life.
Now, do you think that with some of the bigger organizations, do you think that because you guys are such a small group and so knit tight that the teamwork was a lot more efficient and effective than it would be if it was being a bigger group?
And yes and no. It's kind of hard because I've never been a part of a big organization like, Stuart Haas or Richard Childress or anything like that. But I think with us being as small as we are, it definitely creates, I think, a little bit better of an environment. It's not like that all the time. Sometimes we're ready to grab each other by the throat and go out in the parking lot and just, kind of throw down. But it definitely helps because you tend to do stuff outside of work together. Go shoot pool, go to the bowling alley, go get a beer, whatever. And I definitely think in the hard moments that really comes to light, and it really helps everybody involved instead of just, I'm sure they do it on the big teams too, but I feel like it was more on our level for sure.
It affects you more. It affects you more as a person and who you are. Definitely,
Yeah.
basically, I could definitely see that because of the fact of being that with a big org, there's a lot of people there. Yeah, you get disappointed, but it hits more to home when there's like 10 of you. It hits way more to home if something doesn't happen, or even including the success aspect of it if you get it. So yeah, I can see that where it would be. You can have that both. That adversity, big and small.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you fight with each other and work with each other every day in the shop, and you do the same thing on the road. It's a no quit attitude. If something's not right, you fix it the fastest and the best way that you can. So it definitely, everything comes full circle on a good day and a really bad day.
Right. Now I get a question. Now on the track, do you ever come up in the Northeast at all, like into New Hampshire, Vermont, all those guys in the late model division at all?
No,
No.
I personally,
Okay. Well,
I
my question would have been was the difference between the tracks. Like we have Oxford, which is Oxford, Maine, which is part of the Oxford 250. Then we have Lee, which is here in here in New Hampshire. And I was wondering if the tracks that you guys run down there, if they're kind of like the same, if they're still because of the weather changes, if they're different. I guess that's what I was looking at. Because up here they're pretty well maintained. You know what I mean? They're not paved very often, but they're very maintained for being the weather that we suffer. But I wasn't sure about down there because I only raced dirt down in that area. I never really got on the asphalt part of it, so that's why I was kind of curious.
Hey, Mike.
I would definitely like to try to find out. To be honest with you, I know. From my hometown, there's Can-Am Speedway, Oswego Speedway, Evans Mills, which I think Evans Mills is dirt now. But, kind of probably I would say within a 35 or 40 mile radius of where I was born, there's definitely, a big heart of racing. Not necessarily NASCAR late model stocks, but the late model stocks and the super, the dirt cars and all of that stuff. So it's definitely something that I would like to go experience and possibly try out.
Well, yeah, up here we have your Pro All-Star Series, which is basically like your late models in the Northeast. And then you have your American Canadian Tour, which is basically the next step up besides that. So those are ones that like hit loud and stuff like that. So that's why I was kind of curious. I mean, because some of these tracks over here, like Lee, is almost a half-mile banks. Oxford, which is straight out flat, basically. If you don't know anything about that track. So that's what I was kind of seeing what the difference is. Then you got Smyrna, then you got Claremont and stuff like that. But I was just trying to see if there is a big difference change in the tracks because of the location, or if there wasn't. So
Southern National, which is right down the road, they're pretty high banked. It's a 3/8 mile. You go to Carteret County, which is towards the beach. They're really flat. Like there's more banking in our parking lot at our shop. It's really flat. Florence is kind of in the middle. Dillon's kind of in the middle. Hickory is just Hickory. Hickory is a whole different animal. It's got
I
some.
hear it's pretty beat up.
Flat. Yes. It probably wouldn't hurt to put some new pavement around Hickory. Just one time.
All right. Just one time.
So Derek, first of all, Mike, you have a blue dot.
I already got rid of it.
Okay. I seen it, but I didn't. I was trying to.
It was a reflection of something. I'm just not sure what.
Probably the light behind you, but or it was the minion.
Oh, it might have been.
Derek, I sent you the link so that way you can send to all your friends.
Okay.
So that while I do the sponsor all of our sponsors, I'll let you send out those invites.
All right, perfect. I'll get right on it, man.
So I'd like to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. Obviously, the one, the only Derek Peebles for Peebles Motorsports. We got Richmar Florist, Morgan Vans Racing, Racing Jason, Appalachian Holler Hunters, Milliner Transport, B3 Ranch, Eldridge Skating, Wrecking Racing Podcast, Peak Auto, Penguin City Beer, Charlie Langenstein, Wrench Twister 00. Guys, I got a big announcement to make after this. Mike, you know what it's about. Ryan Daily Designs, Fast Lap with Podcast, Chrissy and Deb, Prospect Motorsports, The Lineup Barbershop, Seat Time Driving School. And why I'm saying that is Mike has won the 00 pit road sign from last year. How do you feel about that?
I can't wait to get it. It'll go on with the rest of somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to put it, though. I don't know if I got a big enough spot in the house, but I'll find a spot. Don't worry. I'll find a spot.
Yeah. So, guys, actually, I want to thank everybody that has been tuning in. I want to thank all of our friends, all of our families. I would like to give a shout out to Outlaw Mask. I don't know if they're watching, but Mike and I both want to give a huge shout out to them. We appreciate everything you guys do. Obviously, you guys see my new mic. I'm getting used to this thing. It's a little different. Mike makes fun of me for it because I try to have a little fun with it.
Oh no, it's all in fun. We'll get it live one of these times, everyone. Don't worry. I'll get one of these pictures live, and I'll send that to everybody.
Yeah, it's the light behind you. As soon as you move over, the light.
Okay, cool. Now I know. I see what you're talking about.
So yeah, I want to give everybody a big shout out. We'll wait for Derek to come back. I have a couple more questions for him. Obviously, we ain't gonna go away anytime soon. Mike, what do you think about? What did you think about Dover in the Cup Series? Obviously, I didn't get to talk to you about it.
It was a great race. I mean, I wish my last stage came out better than what it should have. But I mean, in the first two stages, I was satisfied with it. It was great racing. Everybody that was in that race did a great job. Dover's not an easy one. We even had Jonathan with us from Richmar Florist, which was a great privilege to have him racing with us. He's picking up. He jumps in every once in a while. He's learning. You can tell he's getting faster and faster just by even off and on.
Absolutely.
On that, my biggest thing was, congratulations to you. I mean, you definitely need a shout. That was a heck of an accomplishment to do this season.
18 wins, six straight championship. It was an incredible season. I'm looking forward to 2021 and seeing if I can tie the late Dale Earnhardt, the King, and my favorite driver, Jimmy Johnson.
Yep. It can be done. I see it being done. My whole thing this year going into this season is now is just get back to where I was before. Get back to that Final Four again. But then you know how I do it. One race, one step, one lap, one position, and we'll figure it all out when the final 12 hit the spot, and then we get through it.
So Derek.
Yes, sir.
You want to talk about Pro Premium Racing since you just came on board 2 weeks ago?
Yep, officially came on board 2 weeks ago. I was able to catch some of the Dover race. I'm not going to lie. I did not watch all of it. We have been really busy trying to get ready for our race in Florence, South Carolina, which happens this weekend, the Icebreaker 400. I really love what you guys are doing. I think it's not just about the iRacing deal, which honestly, iRacing is big. It really is. There's a lot of our customers and our young kids that we have a simulator and we're like, hey, jump on here, just run some laps, just kind of get used to the feel of different stuff. I personally am a fan of NASCAR Heat. I've bought all of the games that they've come out with for my 360 and my Xbox One now that I've upgraded. I do not have PlayStation. My brother kind of got me into that kick. So I definitely like what you guys are doing and trying to promote more of the NASCAR Heat side with the PC and the Xbox and PlayStation versus just strictly the iRacing deal. I think once people realize there's more out there than just iRacing, then I think we can definitely get some more people on board and maybe even get us in on a couple open races or a couple open practices or something. I think that would be a blast. I really do.
Well, we were talking about doing a celebrity race on the PS4, and we're talking to Spencer Boyd. We're talking to obviously Jonathan, Ryan Vargas, big names. So we're trying to figure a way of doing that to be able to get everybody in racing with us. And what we're going to do is do the top 4 in each series.
Okay.
So like Mike would be there, I would be there. You'd have the guys from the Cup Series, Brian and Dave. You've got other drivers out there. Obviously, see if we can get you and Tamarcus in there. Obviously, you both are Xbox people.
Yeah. I just recently brought the Xbox One to the shop. So when we kind of have a little bit of downtime or we need to decompress before we go home, we'll fire it up and we have NASCAR Heat 5 on it. So
I thought that'd be more of a
definitely
Wreckfest
good.
type deal.
Do what, Mike?
I thought that'd be more of a Wreckfest type deal. Get that stress out.
Kind of.
Yeah,
because
that's what Mike and
there happens
that's
to
what
be
Mike and I
a
do.
mini fridge next to it that either has Busch Light or Bud Light in it. So we may or may not have a couple cold ones while we're running some laps.
No, that's what Mike and I do. If we have a stressful day, we literally will turn on Wreckfest and just beat the living crap out of each other. And it's hilarious. It's been to the point where I've turned realistic damage on and Mike's going around the corner and I'm boom.
It's kind of fun. I mean, definitely, it just releases some stress, especially when you have a bad race.
Yeah. Go to Watkins Glen or a road course or something, you can really do some damage.
Yeah.
So we have talked to you and I about the I'm drawing a blank, Prospect Motorsports.
Yes.
So we're going to be Pro Premium Racing is going to be on those cars.
Yes.
Now, do you want to tell the fans about what you and I have came up with?
Okay, so Prospect Motorsports and Derek Peebles Motorsports, we are 2 separate entities. We run our 2 business separately for the most part, but we help each other all the time. We help work on each other's cars. We help at the racetrack. It's kind of a way for us to cover more of the state because Prospect and Ryan are out of the Concord, Statesville, Mooresville area, and I'm on the eastern side of the state. So I'm like the Raleigh area, Kinston, not really Wilmington, but kind of more towards the beach. So we're just trying to essentially cover more ground with more people. So your logos will be on our cars as well, not just Prospect and Ryan stuff. As we do our partnership, we're pretty much going to do the same thing that the other one does. So we're going to run the same decals, the same sponsors. Everybody that we're a part of together and separately are going to be on every car that we bring out. Now it may not be a huge decal, but it will be on the car. A lot of our smaller associate sponsors, like we have a sponsorship for gear oil and motor oil and stuff like that. So they have a sticker as well. But we'll definitely be on the car. And I just ordered my decal kit this morning for this weekend. And once I get it approved, I will send it to you and I will let you post it.
Oh, now, are all your decals vinyl or are they just are they stickers or are they vinyl? Do they replace you could take them off and put them back on, or is it just like if something happens?
For the most part, if you get doored and the tires get so hot, I mean, they kind of melt all of it. But for the most part, they're all vinyl. Some of them can be took off and put back on, but most of the time we just reorder them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really not that cost effective. And you want your stuff to look the best that it can every single weekend.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering if there was that huge price difference if you have to replace them every race or whatever, or every couple of weeks or whatever. Or I didn't know if the price was that much different. I mean,
I have a really good vinyl guy, out of right here in Wendell and Raleigh area. Bradley McCaskill owns Graphics Unlimited. He definitely does a lot for us. So he's pretty good. He's good enough where you get doored in the door and it tears up the number and any part of it. He can just print you another number and some excess wrap, and you pretty much cut out what was messed up and slap the new stuff on and kind of trim it up and make it match back together. So he does an awesome job for us also.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you can
So
patchwork it kind of.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it's definitely a whole lot
Cost-effective.
cost
Yeah.
effective than getting the whole side of the car redone.
Right. I agree.
Hold on. So let me get our logos on this car.
It will be hopefully Wednesday before we load up to leave Thursday.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you. That's
that'll
awesome.
That'll be cool.
Oh yeah. Definitely excited about it.
I can't wait to see that on the track.
It's gonna look good. We
So,
kind of
yeah.
went with kind of like a basic scheme to get through this weekend. But we're going to see how much more Kyle Campbell's going to do with us this year. I know he's got more lined up with his pro late model stuff. But if it's a case that we can sign him on for, 10 or 12, 14 races, then we'll go full out wrap and,
Right.
We'll have something different every once in a while, but definitely going to have you guys on everything that we run.
It was
So
funny
now-
because I was listening. Oh, go ahead, Bobby.
No, I was just gonna say. So, I was talking to Derek about this, and he said that when he's at the track, he's going to post videos, and you're blue again.
Oh,
He's going to put.
it's reflection off my. There's got to be a reflection somewhere. That's all right. Hey, Blue Man Group.
So he's gonna post videos and stuff with our logo, obviously, in the cars, so that we'll be able to post that on our page and kind of share it. Obviously, if we can go live to be able to show the races, we'll be able to do that. Obviously, have to find a way to be able to stream the races, but I know that it's not always possible.
Yeah, probably the best bet to keep up with it. It's not a streaming service, but we use it for timing and scoring. You can look at it on Race Monitor. It's just your standard app for your phone, and it gives you live leaderboard and everything, so you can at least see the rundown and see what's going on. A lot of our stuff is on speed51.com or MAV TV,
Right.
but a lot of it isn't. We do so many local shows that are just your regular twin 40s, on a Saturday night versus the big 150 and 200 lap races for us. So a lot of our stuff is, and a lot of our stuff isn't.
So I'm gonna steal the thunder from you, Mike, for a second.
Go ahead.
So, Derek, we have all these fans out here. All of our drivers are out here watching. Do you have any surprises like everybody else has kind of threw out at us? I know that we've talked about it, but I'll let you kind of throw your surprise out.
Possibly. I think when we get closer to making it final and we can get him to do a yes or no, there's a chance to have a former Cup driver and a now Xfinity driver on with us. One of them's going through speed weeks, getting ready to go down to New Smyrna, and the other one is gearing up for Daytona. So we're going to let them get settled in and get through probably the biggest 2 weeks of their racing career for this year. And then we will definitely get back to that, and hopefully we can do a collaborative show on that night.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. But Derek and I did talk about doing possible prizes for everybody. Also, we haven't really sat down and been able to talk about details completely, but we are going to be doing some prizes, just like Charlie's done, like Ryan. Mike, you've seen the prize list. It's just getting bigger and bigger every week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, these guys, I mean, they deserve it. I mean, they work hard. They run good. They do everything that they're supposed to do. And basically, all you got to do is simple. Do your job. That's it. That's all you got to do. Do your job. Race your race car. Do your job, and we're good, and we will take care of the rest from there. And it's worked out very well. All the people that have come aboard, yourself, Starcom being affiliated, and then you got Rich Mark Flores, and you got Morgan Vance Racing. I mean, those guys there. That's how I actually started. Was besides Bobby, and then I went to Morgan's Vans. Was racing. Well, I still raced for Tamarcus, and I raced for Jonathan too, as well on the Cup side. that all just worked out perfectly, and I'm glad to have that part of behind me, as well as Bobby's got what he's got going on, and then to have you join us. I mean, that's the drivers. The drivers is what made the league, but the sponsors behind everything else is what makes the drivers. And if you kind of get my gist of that, because ever since all this other stuff has come up to these drivers and all the championship prize stuff like that, their intensity's picked up, their driving's picked up, they become faster, they become cleaner, they become more efficient. It's incredible what's actually really has happened since everybody started to really come aboard with us. So we definitely thank you for that. That's for sure.
Well, definitely looking forward to the partnership moving forward. I've never really been a part of an actual league. I've done some stuff with a friend of mine, Landon Huffman. He has his own iRacing thing, and I've done some sponsorship with him, and it's definitely helped the social media stuff and getting more and more phone calls and texts and inquiries about the actual physical side of, hey, I might be interested in renting one of your late model stock cars. How do I go about that? So I think us teaming up and doing what we're doing, even through a computer racing, kind of simulator style, I think it's definitely appropriate and will benefit both of us probably just as much as one as the other.
Right. And I've even talked to the boss man himself about maybe driving down here or up here to Toledo and getting in one of those cars and racing around Toledo Speedway.
Oh my God, you ain't got enough insurance, Bobby.
Very possible.
You hear this?
No, I don't know, Derek. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'd want to. I don't know.
Well, if anything, it'd be a good road trip.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what he would do. I don't know if we actually put Bobby in a race car, what he would do. I've been in one. I know you've been in one. I don't know what he would do.
Hold on. Did you forget what's going to happen?
Well, yeah. Well, that's not yet. It hasn't happened yet.
Driving experience, and I get to drive around for 40 to 60 laps.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
There goes I can see it now. It's Days of Thunder. Hey, this side's not messed up. We don't want you to get lazy. Kick in the side.
Yeah. And I'm on the pit box saying, you can't pit now. I'm eating ice cream.
Hey, all you're going to hear is, Derek, I'm dropping the hammer. No, you're not.
Nope. Ain't going to happen, Captain.
Put this way. We can put a spring on the backside of that throttle where it don't go down so far. We can back that up a little bit so you can't get that thing all the way down.
I can do that.
Yeah, see? There's a lot of things you can do. Well, I mean, I was wondering about that. That was actually kind of something I kind of thought. Would you actually, with a newer driver, so you got a greenhorn right out the gate that comes in for development, would you almost do something like that to help him a little bit so he doesn't get so much throttle, you know what I mean, to try to keep him until he gets, you know what I mean, until he gets a little more accustomed to that? Possibly
from the beginning. So a lot of our guys come from like the Legends world or the quarter midget world.
Right.
And those Legend cars are screaming. I mean, they're super fast. They have a lot of horsepower for what they are. So basically the first run or two on the racetrack, it's just, hey, run some laps, get used to your seat belts, your steering wheel, your pedal placement, get used to all that stuff first. And we're going to essentially burn a set of tires. Just log laps, get used to everything, get used to your surroundings, what you see, what you feel, what you smell, what you hear, all that stuff. I have physically never done that, but I don't feel like there was a need for me to have done that. Now, sometimes you get on the radio with them, you're like, hey, kind of calm down a little bit. We're just making laps. But I mean, it's kind of the same for everybody. You're excited, you're nervous, you're ready to go. You want to show what you have. So essentially just kind of keeping the bridle on them for a little bit, just to be safe.
Basically the same way. I mean, just not without, putting that, lock on for, that governor, you could say, as we used to use it back in the day, the governor.
Yeah.
On something.
It's definitely not so much of the mechanical side or the physical side, but it's a lot of talking on the radio.
All right. Now, do you get them accustomed to, because we all know that when it comes to late model racing, rubbing is racing when it comes to late models, 9 times out of 10. There is no ifs and buts about it. Can you that's got to take a lot of talking too. I mean, that's got to be a lot of talking.
Yes.
I know very well the paces has got to go through the roof real quick.
Yep. We raced with a kid, and he's still doing some stuff with me and some stuff with David Rudman. Ryan Rackley. He's out of Valdosta, Georgia. excellent young man, excellent family. We raced the PRA Tour 2 years ago with him. We were at Orange County Speedway. We were running behind Mac Little, one of the local legends, and he would catch him from about half a straightaway back to about a car length and a half off his back bumper. And I think Mac was messing with us a little bit. Mac would pull back away. Ryan would pull back up. Ryan come over the radio and he was like, I just don't get it. I can't get any closer to him. And I was like, well, when you get there, just take it easy, because if you wreck him, we are all going to be in big trouble. Because he was like the fan favorite, he raced at that racetrack forever. But it's hard to try to keep them in their head when they don't really know anything but go, go, go. But every once in a while you get somebody like Ryan and they get it right off the jump. Like, he knows not to drive it down in there and try to slam on the brakes and get somebody turned. And because at the end of the day, you don't want to mess up your car, because it's built the best way possible. So
right.
I guess it all really just depends on the driver and their background.
That sounds like development.
Definitely.
Well, no, our development series, I guess, like our development series that we have is it's the beginning start of coming into the league. So all those guys that are in development are either they may be even veterans, they may have tons of experience, but that doesn't make much difference, because of you're in development, because of you have to go through an attendance and a probationary period before you can actually get up into the other series.
Right.
So that helps with like people getting new wheels, people getting still learning how to get their car under control. Some that are totally green whatsoever, have never even put their hands on the game before or anything like that. And that's where all of us in development, we work with all them guys to get them better so that they meet their their graduation, which they actually kind of have a graduation, and then they move on to the other series, which we actually have about 4 or 5 people, I believe, that are graduating this coming up. So
okay, cool.
It's almost just a different aspect that what you do is you teach everybody on the real track. That series there teaches everybody off the track. I guess you can manage to say, be able to drive in the heat that we race in. So so it's almost the same way. You still got to run. You still got to get in there every once in a while. Tell them, you got to relax. You got to slow down. You got to, realize that you can't, keep that thing 4 wide going into the corner and hope and pray you make it at Bristol. I mean, that's just not going to work.
Yeah, and I was, especially Ryan, we kind of pounded it into his head. Easy in, easy off. When that thing gets down to the bottom, straight up, make sure your nose is set, and then straight up off the corner. And that kid got so tired of hearing it. Every time we say it now, he goes, I know, I'm doing it. I know. Like, it's the funniest thing. It really is. He's a really good young man, really good young race car driver.
Actually, I have a question. You guys aren't running 4 speeds. You guys are just a 2-speed, isn't it? Is it just a high-low on your late models, or is it 4? Are you running 4 manual?
It's 4.
It's 4.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I wasn't quite sure. I know that some I guess maybe it's the gearing. It's probably what I'm thinking about. Is what I mean? Because you're going so quickly because it's such a short track that you're moving through the gears pretty quick. So that's probably what I'm thinking. I know dirt's too. I know that's a high and a low.
Yep, so. Dirt's high and low. So essentially for us, pretty much everywhere we go, we'll start out in 2nd or 3rd gear.
Okay.
First is pretty much when you roll out of your pit box and you're rolling off pit road.
The grading gear.
Yeah, and everything else, it's 2nd or 3rd, and then next thing you know, you're hammered down in 4th. So.
Oh, okay. So
pretty much have what you have after that.
Right. Okay. I see. So okay, that's why I was kind of curious. I mean, things have changed so much from the '90s. I mean, I'll show you my late models, and I'll tell you right now, they're boxed, they're squared, they're actually the old Buick Regals, 2 doors. Some of them, one of them is, one's an old Pontiac. So I mean, it's totally. You see the changes from what you guys are driving now to what I was driving back in late models, and oh my god, the car is so much slicker. It looks actually almost longer in some aspects of it, but it's just funny to see the evolution. But still, the motor's the same.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, 350 Chevrolet blocks, Ford blocks. It's pretty much the generics of it haven't changed, but everything else about them has changed. Trying to get the most horsepower out of them you can, which everybody has done that ever since racing has started. But there's a lot of people trying to go about it a different way. There's always, engine guys around here and really around every form of motorsport that are trying to get the most they can out of every engine. but trying to make them the most cost effective for the racer. And that's probably the hardest and the finest line to be able to work with these guys with. There's a lot of times we'll race 3 racetracks on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday, and most of them are all twin events. So you're technically racing 6 races in a weekend.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these guys suggest, hey, after you run X amount of laps, I need to freshen up, put valve springs in it. And some of the other guys are like, just run that thing for like 4 or 5 months and then bring it back to me. So it's really who you trust and who you have building your stuff for you.
See, I was one of those kind of people that I'd run my motor a little bit longer because I didn't always like to send it out and have it, I never liked if the motor ran great, why fix it if it ain't broke? You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of deal. So I was always afraid that if somebody actually started getting, once they sent it back to whoever, they unsealed it, everything else, they got back in, cleaned it all up, and put it all back together again, resealed it. It may not be the same. It still may not be the way you want it to be compared to what you just sent in. So I was always going, well, let's see. If I don't have to fix it right now, I'm gonna run it to everything it's got, and then hopefully it doesn't break during the main event, and then I'll be good to go. But I only went maybe. It's funny you said that because it's kind of funny because I didn't have the option of spreading myself. I used to have to go from a Friday event in the afternoon, try to cut across all the way across the state, get to that event, and then come across the other way back across the state to make the third event in the same Friday. Because it would be like Friday early, like an afternoon event, then you got your mid-afternoon, and then you got your evening. Or you're running Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the way 3 days, and you're trying to cross, 3 states to try to get to all the events. And it's kind of nice that you guys be able to spread that way and work together to be able to get that wider space and have the team together like that.
Yeah, and it's essentially the same for us. Most of our Friday night shows, they've kind of tapered off. I know Ace used to run on Friday nights, which is in Burlington, which is halfway between me and Concord. Anderson, South Carolina, they still run on Friday nights. So we would normally go to Anderson on Friday night, go to Hickory or South Boston, Virginia on Saturday, and then go back to this side of the state and go to Southern National on Sunday. So we're kind of starting in the middle and going all the way and then coming all the way back. So it's definitely all over the board.
Definitely some of those times I remember across through there, we definitely weren't doing the speed limit. That's
no. I have a very good friend of mine that worked with me at Mike Darn's, and he lives in Virginia now. But we had a saying every time we went through Virginia, there's signs all over, and it says anything over 80 is reckless driving. And I promise you, at 3:30 in the morning, we're doing more than 80 miles an hour. We were trying to get up the road. So
you got to check into that next race on time,
Oh yeah.
Get it all pulled apart, separated, reset, and back at it again.
Yep. 2 or 3 hours of sleep, a whole bunch of Monster sugar-free energy drinks, and you are good to go. I promise.
Oh, we didn't have those back in the 90s, so the energy drinks didn't live back then. So you just had to rely on the old black coffee, and that was it.
Yeah.
No nothing else was black.
Yeah, there you go.
So, Derek, what all tracks are you running at this upcoming season?
So we're going to go from Florence and Dillon, South Carolina, Southern National Motorsports Park, which is here in Kenley. We'll hit Orange County. We'll hit Ace. We'll race at Tri-County. We'll race at Hickory. We'll race at Anderson, which is in South Carolina also, towards Clemson, down in Death Valley. And then we'll probably go to South Boston a couple times and possibly Dominion a couple times in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So we pretty much cover from Virginia to South Carolina.
There you go.
That's a lot of tracks.
Yes. It's a lot, and it's a lot of driving, which, I mean, obviously is part of the deal. But, you like Wayne, he prefers to run at Southern National. It's close to the house. If something happens, he can run back to the shop and grab something. He doesn't have that far of a drive. I don't mind the travel, obviously. I mean, I flew out to California on a whim with the Martins guys. Went to Miami. I mean, Talladega, all over the place with those guys. I kind of like it. It's like a little mini vacation. You get a day of driving. You get a day to kind of relax and think about what your next move is, or, oh crap, did I forget to do this? Or I hope we brought this from the shop, so I guess it's a good thing and a bad thing. But I personally don't mind it. I like those 5 and 6 hour car rides to get there. Now coming back home sometimes is a different story.
Right.
But it definitely helps kind of break up your day of getting to the shop every day, working on your stuff every day, kind of being in the same 6 wall building. So it kind of breaks it up for you.
So Dave Rainey said, here, just love hearing them share their stories. Deb's saying you guys are asking good ones listening. John says, who is your pick for the 500?
Well, I am a diehard Kevin Harvick fan, so I'm going to say Kevin Harvick. But Chase Elliott definitely has momentum with everything that he done last year. And, dude, I'm like Chevrolet. Chevrolet is on it. And my upset would probably be Kyle Larson. I think Kyle's going to have a breakout standout year this year.
All right. So I know that they're asking all three of us, Mike. So I'm going to say Kyle Larson is my underdog too, just because I think it's a possibility. And that must be a nice cold can of Busch.
Nah, it's just Mountain Dew.
Yeah, you're a little off on that one, Bobby.
Well, it looked like, and that's what he hit it the way he was like way over here.
Well, I'm trying not to look like a slob, but I definitely would. I would like to get in touch with the Anheuser-Busch guys because we can all really put away some Busch Light, and I think that would be a great associate sponsor on our Camaros.
I have a Anheuser-Busch probably about 30 minutes from my house.
We have
they used to make it's a big old plant.
Hey, if you're interested in a beer sponsorship, honestly, get a hold of Penguin City Beer. That's who sponsors us. I have a gut feeling and it's from Youngstown, Ohio. I think they would honestly sponsor a race car.
That would be awesome. I'll definitely have to look into that.
Now, what were you asking, Bobby? Picked for the 500?
Yeah, so my underdog is Kyle Larson, and I know this is, you guys are gonna tell me I'm crazy. I know you guys are gonna tell me I'm crazy. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this with pride, and don't judge me. The 43 will be back in victory lane at Daytona with Eric Jones.
Eric Jones can plate race now.
I know he can.
He is not a slouch.
Michigan, baby.
So I'm going to say my biggest one I would like to see, actually. I think Byron has a really great shot this year. I think he has a really good chance. Now he's out of the, he's in the 48. And we know what kind of equipment they have. I think he has a real good chance, and he's come a long way just from, remember, he really wasn't racing much. He started off in iRacing as and that's where he turned his laps. So,
yep.
And then for my underdog, I think actually, Christopher Bell in that 20. I think that might be, I think that car, we know what historic that 20 is and what, where that's gone. And I think, he has he's been a good racer too. And I think he has a great shot at possibly having, as I said, Daytona and Talladega are always a crapshoot. You just never know. So, yeah. But those two seem to be, what I've seen of them and where they're coming up through their careers, they have a great shot. It's all going to be about some of these young guys, definitely. Then you got, as I said, you got to watch out for the smaller teams too. They're no slouches either. So these guys bring some really good equipment for the speed weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to say this, and I know everybody's probably going, why didn't you pick this as your underdog? But honestly, I think the most improved this year is going to be Quinn Hoff in the 00. And I want to say this. I know this is crazy to say. If he's in the running at the end of this thing, keep an eye on that 15 of Derek Cope. He can do it.
Yeah, I agree.
He's done it before. Why can't he do it again?
Oh,
we talked to him last week, and you heard what he said.
Oh yeah, he's got the mindset, he's got the experience, he's got the talent. It's not like he can't be done. And as I said, yeah, anybody can win it. That's one of those events that anybody can win, and that it's always got right place, right time, and stay out of that big one, and keep your car clean to the end of it, and finish it in the end, and you'll see. Yeah, it's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty exciting, actually. Now with the new cars, So I'm excited to see how those things are actually going to be in the draft. And hey, there's lunch. I'm kidding, everybody.
He's trying to get TV time.
But I can't wait to see those new gen cars and see what they're going to be really bring, because I hear that they're with the new now that I believe they've gone to the one lug nut. All the different new body style changes and everything that they've done. I want to see how this is going to turn out, because I think those guys running together, it's going to be a lot more stable than what it's been in the past.
So, Derek, it's been an hour. I want to keep going. This has been fun. But I know you got work to do.
Yeah, I've got my front spring sitting on my spring smasher over here in the corner, waiting for me to put my bump stop packages on them for this weekend, so I can get out of here and get home and enjoy a cold Busch Light before I go to bed.
There you go.
Bush.
With that being said, thank you for coming on. Obviously, next week, and I'm sure you'll tune in. We're gonna have Wayne on the show, so
yep.
we're gonna be super excited to have him on.
He's one of a kind, and he is a wild man. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. And
nice.
I definitely appreciate the opportunity. And maybe next Monday night I'll sit in with the actual boss man and kind of just throw my 2 cents in every once in a while. If it's something you guys are up for, I'd definitely like to come back and do a little more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, Derek, anytime you want, you are on my group page. You're more than welcome to post anything you want on that for you. That's there for you, and it's there for anybody. Anybody that's part of that group. But if you want to post stuff about racing coming up for an event, stuff like that, you're more than welcome to throw that up there.
Perfect. I definitely appreciate it.
Everybody in the league catches that, because that's everybody in the league's pretty much in that group. So everybody will all catch anything that you throw at us. We'll all see it.
Okay,
so Wayne's
cool.
racing Saturday, right?
Kyle Campbell is driving for us on Saturday in Florence.
Yep.
Only reason
I think our next one with Wayne possibly will be the season opener for Southern National, and they have not released their schedule yet. But as soon as we get everybody settled in, definitely stay tuned to our Derek Peebles Motorsports Facebook page and our Twitter, and we will have everybody lined up, our driver lined up, our hopefully at least a 6-month schedule for everybody. That way you can tune in and you can kind of know where we're going to be at in the 3 states of Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina.
Excellent.
So we'll have to you guys are gonna have to keep an eye out on our page. Obviously, you heard it from Derek. We're gonna have he's gonna be sending over the renderings of their car for this weekend. Obviously, Pro Premium will be on there. Derek, thank you again for an awesome time. Good luck this weekend, and go get those shocks done.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit, and definitely do it again here soon.
Thank you.
That sounds good.
Right. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
All right. Y'all too.
So, Mike, now that was a great show. You want to let's talk about the actual week in review now. So we crowned a champion in the truck series. Kyle Petrie, our Canadian driver, beats out Ron Racing by 3 points.
That was a good one. It was definitely a good one race. It was exciting to watch. You had your rookie in the Final Four. You had that battle for the championship. Obviously got his ring. It was a wonderful end of that season for that season to end. Now I'm looking forward to, now we got some new people coming in and doing some, now we have some people changing vehicles and things like that. So I'm excited for the new season.
Next week we do the duels for both the trucks and the cup. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a blast. Obviously we've already set up our pole and our second place spot for Daytona. Kyle Petrie will be on the pole, and second place will be Loho. Then we had Derek Cope on the show on Monday night, which was absolutely amazing. Love the show. Can't wait to have him back on. I'm trying to work and see if we can get Alicia on the show. That'd be a blast. Then we had the Cup Series on Tuesday at Dover. Obviously, the 00 Starcom machine came out firing on all cylinders, and that thing was a hot rod.
Yeah, no, I mean that race there was, I said, great job by all the Final Four. I mean, Dave, Brian. I mean, that was the first two stages was incredible. It was us four that we were there. You know, fortunately, me and Brian had to work a couple times from the backside of the field. Not too much of an issue, but then a few driver errors and a bad adjustment on my end put me further back. So that's where I ended up. But it was a battle all the way around. I don't think it was, it wasn't a bad race in any form, way whatsoever. That's for sure. It was definitely what I expected it was going to be.
Right.
And then we had Jonathan with us, so that was always fun.
Right. So now we our season came to an end. Obviously, tomorrow is going to be different. We don't have to practice. I mean, obviously, I'll probably throw my hat in there and get some practice for Daytona. Help you guys out a little bit.
I'm stuck under snow, so I don't think I'll be doing too much the next day, or anyways, because I'm under the snow. All that snowstorm coming in now. So 10 to 18 is a lot of snow.
So we're gonna try. We're gonna try to get you up there, get you your first win. We're bringing up some guys.
Yeah.
We have a couple big announcements coming soon, so stay tuned. Obviously, you guys heard it from Derek. Pro Premium is going to be on the car. Then you have our Pro Premium is going to be on Prospect Motorsports car, all over the car, different spots throughout the year. And then there's a couple other things I can't touch base with right now, but Mike and I are working on some really big things. We're excited. Obviously, I'd like to give a shout out to Starcom and Starcom Fiber and Richmar, Morgan Vans, Charlie, Dwayne. Obviously, I got to thank all of them guys for giving me the opportunity and being on the extreme ride that we've been on this last year. 18 wins, like I said earlier, 6 straight championships, going for 7. And you guys know as well as I do that it's coming. My time racing in the Cup Series is going to come to an end at some point. And that's going to give you guys a chance. Obviously, I know Mike's ready. Mike's ready for me to hang the helmet up.
Well, so the way it's going to be funny because we're probably going to end up doing it almost back to back at this point.
Yeah, honestly, you and I've talked about it. It probably what would probably happen is I'd retire from the Cup Series. Obviously, my dream is to get into iRacing and try to go out and race the big boys at the Coca-Cola Series. Obviously, it's going to take a lot of time and effort to get in there. So that's my goal, is to go out and try to take it with the big boys. Obviously, try to get signed to a NASCAR team. I mean, that's where those guys are. Obviously, it's a big step, and those guys bust their butt.
Yep.
So,
a lot of time, a lot of effort, Bobby. We know that.
Exactly. We'll see where it goes. We'll put a lot of time and effort into it, like I have all year. The last 6 years. Obviously, Pro Premium has been around for 13. I appreciate all of you guys that have been here throughout those 13 years. We had the Busch race on Wednesday.
Great race.
We had Kyle Petrie fill in for Jade, and absolutely Kyle and I are considered the road course ringers of the league, and Kyle proved it in that race. He was gone, and it was a blast to watch. Though, I mean, you seen Billy in there.
Oh yeah, that's right. We lost the feed for that, didn't we, Bobby?
Yeah, we lost the whole feed.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
And there's a reason behind it. Obviously, you guys can't see outside, but we've got about 7-8 inches of snow, and then dealing with Mike's dealing with the other end of that snowstorm. So
yeah, it wasn't.
I want to thank everybody. Obviously, Wednesday night we'll race again. And then Saturday development, Sunday trucks for the duels, and then Monday we're gonna have Wayne on the show.
Yep.
As long as there's not an announcement to make. If there's an announcement to make, then we may change it up.
All right.
Other than that, I really think that we have a great season ahead. I know that the guys are looking forward to trucks. I know I'm looking forward to Cup. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do this year with that 00 Starcom machine. I know that Rich Mar Flores is looking forward to you and seeing what you can do in that 53. So.
Well, I won't be 3 weeks behind this time.
No, you're there from day one, so that's a really good thing.
Well, that's right, and I think why that's I'm gonna keep thinking back. I says that believe it or not, the points difference that I was in that final four was actually the 3 weeks that I would have been I wasn't there in the end because those are 2 weeks I didn't get points. So.
And then Mike just won the pit road sign for from Wrench Twister 00.
I'm psyched. That's gonna be that's yeah. I don't have no clue where that's gonna go, but we'll find a spot.
So I'm actually trying to pull it up real quick, Mike. I check your DMs real quick. I'm trying to pull it up. Give me 1 second. He just posted it not too long ago, so if I can pull it up, I will show you guys. So Mike
can't find it.
All right, so it's on Facebook Messenger.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so it says, well, the picker wheel has been spun. Congratulations goes out to this evening's winner of the 00 pit road sign. Mike Sr. is our lucky winner. DM me so I can get your shipping info, please. Stay tuned for the next Wrench Twister 00 giveaway announcement, and this is what he won.
Yeah, you'll have to put it up. Yeah, there it is. Nice. That's gonna be that's a big piece. Well, I don't know if I got any room.
Let's put, I know how big it is, and it's ginormous.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. I don't need to see windows, so we can put it over the window. We don't need to see out. Actually, no. I'll put that on the back of I'll put that on the back window of my car. Why not? Try to come put it on the door. That'd be better. I'll rivet that thing right to the door.
So obviously, I want to thank everybody. Thank all of you guys. Thank all of our viewers. Thank our drivers. Thank Mike. Thank you for everything you do. I want to give a huge shout out to Outlaw Mask. They are amazing. Mike, I know he likes giving them a shout out also. They've done a lot for us. We share their stuff. People tune in. If you guys are looking for masks to wear, you guys, they're amazing. Their products are absolutely amazing. I'm actually trying to pull it up real quick. So these masks, you guys, they're awesome.
Oh, they got the vents on the side. It's fully, I mean, they're perfect for what,
if you're looking for a mask, those masks, $19.99. They literally go around your face like this. They have 2 vents right here. And they don't fog your glasses up. They're absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's what I was still looking at too, because I have the other masks I have.
They have those. They have these ones.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have all sorts of. They have they call them gators. black and yellow Steelers. Can't
Oh,
go
yeah.
wrong with them. Absolutely, like amazing. And
They have a lot of different custom masks, that's for sure.
absolutely, and they actually have buy 2 masks get 50% off your third, plus free shipping.
Nice. So yeah, safety first. I mean, right now during these times, I mean, even though the vaccine's out there, everything else, you still got to maintain that social distancing. You still got to be careful. I mean, nothing's guaranteed. It's definitely, definitely practice the safety and the social distancing because of, it's very important, for all of us to be safe and to be healthy.
Absolutely, and that's the biggest thing. Try to stay healthy out there. Obviously, we know that this thing's not going to go away for a while. So, I mean, those masks, you guys can wear them when you're out. I mean, anywhere while you're at work, while you're on the go. Obviously, if we're allowed to go to the racetrack,
Yep.
I mean, it's something that you're gonna want to wear. So, like I said, if you're looking for a nice mask that's not gonna be cheap and gonna break or anything like that, go to Outlaw Mask. You guys won't be disappointed. And like I said, their Facebook, they have a Facebook page, they have a Twitter, Instagram, and it's outlawmask.com. I mean, it's not hard to. Literally, I've went and I've talked to these guys. They're on TikTok, and they go live all the time. If you have any questions at all, they will respond and they will talk to you.
Awesome.
So with that being said, guys, I just wanted to give a great shout out to everybody. Absolutely awesome. And y'all have a great night. And Mike, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yep. Another wonderful day.
Yep. Obviously, you'll be home getting that practice.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it really snow's not supposed to, it's going to be the morning part that really decides what's going to happen because I definitely don't like, I mean, I love my work, I love my job, but it's if you wreck a car out there or something like that, you got to pay for the money to have it fixed, this and that. And 10 to 18 inches is not so easy to drive in.
Right. And guys, I will say this. I've tried not to touch this microphone the whole night. And it's
You've done good, Bobby.
And it's been hard because I just want to pull it out and
Jump
put
around.
it right here and sing to you guys like I did earlier. I was
Oh,
singing. It was hilarious. But I want to thank you guys. Hopefully I sounded a lot better tonight with this thing. And Mike, we will see you maybe for a special edition show this week.
That'd be cool. That'd be kind of, you never know. Those kind of happen every once in a while out of the blue.
Yeah.
It's usually when we have a special edition show, it's either it's because it's a special guest, or it's this big announcement, or it's something to do for the guys, or that's usually when we have those kind of deals.
Yep.
So
and
definitely tune in. Definitely keep an eye out for that one, guys. Everyone.
And I want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors again. We got Richmar Flores, Morgan Vans Racing, Jason Appalachian Howler Hunters, Milner Transport, B3 Ranch, Eldridge Skating, Wrecking Racing Podcast, Peak, Penguin City Beer, Charlie Langenstein, Ryan Daly Designs, Fast Lap Podcast with Chrissy and Deb, Prospect Motorsports, The Lineup Barbershop, Seat Time Driving School, Derek Peebles Motorsports, which we just interviewed. Guys, give a huge shout out, like I said, to Starcom Fiber, Outlaw Mask, and
all of our
Mike,
drivers.
Yep, all of our drivers, all of our fans, all of our families. And we will see you guys next week or on maybe a special episode this week on the Week in Review. Y'all have a great night.
You too, boy. Good night, everyone.